Mouse World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner specializing in vacation destinations all over the world. From frequent theme park getaways to annual family cruises to once-in-a-lifetime epic worldwide adventures, we can help you make those dreams a reality. At Mouse World Travel, we focus on quality vacations to provide guests with the most optimal experience. Our agents treat each trip as if it were their own, which means a special, personalized vacation just for you. Our agents provide concierge-level service during the vacation planning process, including offering recommendations to fit your family's needs, such as help choosing hotel or dining locations, suggesting add-ons or extras that we think your family might enjoy, offering tips and tricks to make the most out of your vacation, and answering questions to help you plan efficiently. Some of our more popular vacation destinations include cruise lines such as Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, all-inclusive destinations such as Sandals and Beaches, Universal Parks and Resorts, and of course the various Disney destinations, which include the theme parks, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and Alani. There's something for everyone, and no matter what type of vacation you're looking for, an expert agent at Mouse World Travel will help you get there.
Want to make a podcast? Spotify for Podcasters lets you record, distribute, and earn money from your podcast for free.
With Spotify for Podcasters, you're able to record and edit your podcast episodes from your phone or computer, or you can be like us and find a recording studio and easily upload your audio to Spotify for Podcasters.
Distribute your podcast to platforms like Apple and Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and of course, Spotify.
Video content is also available, and if you want to connect with your listeners, question and answer and polls are available for you to reach that next level.
You're also able to earn money with ads and podcast subscriptions, all free.
And the best part of all of this is there's no catch. So if you want to start a podcast, go to www.spotify.com/podcasters or download the Spotify for Podcasters app and get started today. Hi, I'm Erin.
And I'm Katie.
And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
Welcome. So this is our Disneyland Planning 102 episode. If you haven't listened to the 101 episode yet, go back and find that one.
And if we miss anything, let us know.
Yes.
We're happy to do a 103.
Yes, this is going to be probably a continuing education series. So you can get credits for them. Just kidding.
Yes, we wish. Disney credits.
Disney credits.
Churro
Yes.
credits.
So we're trying to condense planning down into as few episodes as possible so that first-timers and people that haven't been in a while can go find the information quickly without having to listen to all 120-plus episodes that we've recorded so far. But
Yes.
if you would like to go and do that, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, come to these 3 episodes for the info. Go to the rest of the episodes for the fun.
Yes.
We're happy to have you here.
Because we do go deep dive into some more details about your trips in the other episodes. So if there's something specific you're interested in, go sift through and see what you can find.
Plus, we're awesome.
We are awesome. We are so fun to hang out with.
If we do say so ourselves.
And please feel free to message us on Instagram or Facebook. We are at Ropedrop.Parkhop, and you can ask us questions about, a specific episode if you'd like help finding one for what you're looking for.
We're totally happy to help.
Okay,
wait, pause. Did you feel like when you edited our last episode, were we boring? Did
No.
you feel like we were buttoned up?
No.
When we're just blowing through information.
Nah,
So
it was fine.
if you're listening and you feel like we're buttoned up, we're not always buttoned up.
So in the 101 episode, we talked about how to get to Disneyland, how to buy your tickets, make reservations, all that good stuff. Go back and listen to it. In this 102 episode, we're going to talk about some of the more little details once you're at the park.
Right.
Okay. So let's start with magic bands.
Okay.
So we talked about Genie Plus in the last episode. Go back and check that out. That's important to know about. Mm-hmm. Magic bands are a good little helper for Genie Plus. So magic bands, you link to your Disney account, so your Disney app. These are the Magic Bands Plus. So Disney World has Magic Bands, regular Magic Bands, and then Magic Bands Plus. Disneyland, only Magic Bands Plus work there. That's a little bit confusing for people. They wonder if they can use their Disney World Magic Bands at Disneyland and vice versa. Magic Band Plus are the only ones that work universally.
And don't buy them secondhand. Once they are attached to an account, they cannot be attached to another account. Mm-hmm. So don't buy them from someone who's telling you that, these have been disconnected from our account. They have not.
Right.
You cannot use somebody else's Magic Bands. Purchase them on your own.
And you can buy them. You can find them at Shop Disney. You can find them at the parks. There's multiple locations for them there.
And they're super cute. They're a lot of
really
fun.
Cute. Yes. You can showcase your personality with them. There's lots of different designs. They're pretty fun. And they're not necessary.
Right.
But they are actually really helpful. So you can use them to scan into the park. You link your tickets to them, and that lets you scan in. It lets you scan into rides when you have lightning lanes pulled for those rides. They do some fun little interactive things during shows and when exiting rides and walking past certain areas of the park. They'll light up and buzz for you. So there's fun things with them.
Yes. And I know we've talked about this before on our podcast, as a parent, I'm always the one who's in charge of the tickets for my family. And sometimes that means that when we have a lightning lane to ride, I think of Big Thunder Mountain. It's a little crowded. There's 3 towers with 2 scanners on each side of the tower. And when you have people standing there, 5 people for one family, it can get a little crowded. Magic Bands Plus make that so much nicer because you can scan your Magic Band and walk through. Your kids can come and scan their Magic Bands and walk through instead of congregating around me while I try to scan everybody's ticket from my phone.
Right, and blocking everybody else from getting to the scanner. So what you do is you scan in, you go and you wait for your party on the other side of the scanners where you're not all bunched up.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yep. And again, not necessary, but gosh, it makes things so much easier. It makes things easier at the ticket gates when you're not trying to organize everybody and get everybody in the right order to scan tickets at the right time. It's just easy. And it's a cute souvenir.
Yeah. And I think kids love being able to scan themselves into the park, right?
Totally.
Like, I think that's super fun. And now that they have kind of done away with paper tickets, physical tickets, this is the only way for kids to scan themselves in unless you're passing your phone around to everybody, which is also a pain.
So do we need them? No. Do we recommend them? Sure.
Yeah.
And they're about $35. So count on that. And sometimes they have specials on certain ones, not frequently. But a $35 souvenir, your kids can take them home. You can use them at subsequent trips if you go back. And like we mentioned, at Walt Disney World if you travel there.
They're rechargeable, so they should last for a long, long, long time. Whereas the regular Magic Bands before for Disney World, they had a shelf life. They would die after a few years. And you never knew when.
They come in super cute designs.
Yes.
Whatever you like, you'll probably be able to find a Magic Band for it. I will say this, dear Disney, if you're listening, add a pedometer.
Oh, that'd be fun. Good idea.
Add a clock.
Yeah.
So we can look at the time on it. There's a couple things that I think they could do to upgrade plus the Magic Bands Plus.
How about a Hey Disney add to it so you can Alexa stuff on your...
Oh, did
everybody's Alexa went off. Sorry.
We have Hey Disney on our Alexa. Do you?
Not yet. Oh. No, I need to do it.
It's cute.
Okay. PhotoPass. This is something we didn't get to last time. That's pretty important.
If you've purchased Genie Plus, it's included with your Genie Plus purchase. So you can go up to any cast member that is a PhotoPass cast member and have your picture taken in front of the castle, in front of Guardians of the Galaxy, wherever you see a PhotoPass member.
And they're pretty well marked. These people have on vests and they're holding a camera, obviously. Your PhotoPass barcode or QR code is located on your app on your phone. Super useful. And then ride photos also are included with Genie Plus. So you've got Radiator Springs Racers has a ride photo, Space Mountain. Incredicoaster.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that it?
Tiana's Bayou Adventure will likely have a picture, a photo, a ride photo when that opens next year.
But I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think there's only those.
So get the ride photos, though. They're super fun.
And also, again, coming from the mom perspective, we're always the ones with the camera taking the picture of our kids and of our family. And PhotoPass is a really great way for you to get those cute family shots in front of the castle without having to ask somebody to take it for you or without having to not be in the picture and just get the rest of your family while you're behind the camera. I love PhotoPass.
Yeah. And here's a tip. If you are very invested in getting that family photo and don't want to wait in a long line, go first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Usually the lines are a little bit shorter at those times.
And the popular spots sometimes will have lines.
Yes.
So just account for it.
And during holiday times, for instance, Halloween, there's a cute Mickey pumpkin in Town Square that's good to get a picture in front of the Christmas tree at Christmas time. And then various holidays will have, fun stuff.
Little
going
things
on.
throughout. Also, ask your PhotoPass cast member if they have a magic shot. Those are kind of fun too. And they'll have you do some little specific pose. And then they have the ability to add a little extra something to the picture. So there are times where you can hold Tinkerbell or hold balloons in the picture. And they'll have you pose correctly. And those are just kind of fun little extra perks. So be sure to ask your PhotoPass cast member if they have any magic shots they can offer.
And then those photos are automatically added to your app, and you have a certain amount of time to get those downloaded before they disappear.
45 days.
Okay, let's talk about what to pack. What do you pack for your Disney trip?
Okay, so here's the thing about what I pack it's fluid for me. I
sure.
am still working on my perfect Disney bag, and I've been to Disneyland how many times?
Yes.
And I still am trying new things. I don't know. I mean, no, I do know. I know what I want to have with me. I want to have a water bottle. I want to have a battery for my phone.
I like to bring a fan or cooling towels.
Correct. I have those too. Last time we were there, I really worked hard to just carry a fanny pack. I wanted to see if I could do it. If I could not have a backpack, which I don't mind having a backpack, but I wanted to see if I could just minimally pack. And so I bought like this on Amazon. I bought a water bottle that folds down into pretty much nothing and fits in my fanny pack. And then I have my phone, of course, and my phone, we have Wally cases that have places for our cards. So I have all my debit cards in my phone wallet. And then I have my fuel rods, which I can change out in the parks.
And those are pretty compact, so they don't take a lot of room.
Right. They're the size of like a roll of quarters. And that was good.
Okay.
I don't need Band-Aids at this point. I kind of know what I'm wearing.
Right. Well, and we're going to talk about Band-Aids in just a minute, too. So you may not need Band-Aids.
Anyway. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it also depends on what phase of life you're into, right? If you've got littles, you're going to need more stuff.
Right. You're going to want snacks in your backpack.
Right. And let's talk about that. You can bring food and drinks into Disneyland. They are not prohibitive of that. The only things you cannot bring are alcohol. You cannot bring loose ice. So make sure that if you bring ice, it's in a bag or it's ice packs or something like that.
And no glass containers.
Yes. And then coolers, I think they have like a size restriction on how big a cooler you can bring in.
But you don't want to lug a big cooler around all day.
But we've seen people bring in pizza boxes. They bring their McDonald's from across the street. You can bring pretty much anything in you want. You could bring a full Thanksgiving dinner in if you wanted to.
Yes,
we get questions about that a lot. Like, I can't bring food in, right? And I also have a lot of people ask if you have to bring a clear backpack
you do
into
not.
the parks. No.
But be prepared. Security will check it.
Yes, they will look through your bags, and they look through every single bag still.
They do.
So.
And actually, to talk about that really quickly, when you're coming up on the security checkpoint, be prepared. Make the security checkpoint move quicker by having your bag off of you or out of your stroller and have all of your zippered pouches unzippered.
Everything unzippered, yep. Things that you cannot bring in your bag would be any kind of weapons. Anything
that looks like a weapon.
Right. Even a little toy blaster gun is not allowed in anymore.
Or bubble guns. If you think you're going to save some money by grabbing a bubble gun instead of a bubble wand, they won't allow those in.
Nope. No mace or pepper spray, anything like that.
No selfie sticks.
No drones. It's a pretty short list of what you can't bring in.
Correct.
But just, err on the safe side. You don't want to have to go all the way back to your car or forfeit your item, which is a possibility.
And while we're talking about what you cannot bring in, let's pivot to strollers really quick.
Yes.
We have this on our list a little further down, but let's just go into it right now. Wagon strollers are not allowed. They will turn you away. You will have to go back to your hotel room, period. It doesn't matter if it's listed as a wagon stroller. If it's got wagon in the word or it looks like a wagon, you're not going to get into Disneyland with it, with one exception. If you need your wagon as a wheelchair, if you have a child with special needs and a wagon is what you need to accommodate them, you will be able to get a tag for your wagon and use it as a wheelchair.
Where does the tagging happen? This is something that I haven't really thought about before.
It seems to me it happens at security.
Okay.
Because, I don't know. Security has to let you through.
Right.
And then maybe you have to go to the strollers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it happens at security. I've never had to do it personally.
Right.
And I have never, we know how good I am with attention to detail. I've never seen it happening.
Yeah. Just know that if you don't have a special needs child that needs the wagon, that you are probably going to be denied entry with that Stragan roller.
Stragan roller. Don't do it. No Stragan rollers.
The wagon stroller. Strollers are rentable once you get through security, there is a spot to rent strollers. These are not, these are community strollers.
And they look terrible. I wouldn't want to sit in one. Yes. So I always recommend.
I don't think they look comfy.
Yes.
And if you're going to be using a stroller at Disneyland, like it makes more sense to just be able to pack all of your stuff in it before you walk to the park instead of hauling all of your stuff and then loading it into a stroller. There are some really great stroller rental companies out there that will deliver a stroller to your hotel, let you use it for the week, and then they come and pick it back up from you. So
they're typically a higher quality stroller than what you're going to get at Disneyland. Yes. I will tell you this. The ones at Disneyland are hard plastic so that they can be wiped down very easily. The ones that you can rent from third parties are typically going to be Bob or Baby Jogger, like high-end brand.
Yes. With good wheels.
With good wheels, fabric, comfortable. They wash them in between clients. There are ones that recline. The ones at Disneyland do not.
Right.
And there's nothing worse at the end of the night than having a sleeping kid that you have to wake up and get them out of the stroller because you can't take your stroller off property and then have to schlep them to the bus or your 3-block walk back to your hotel. I always recommend city strollers. We've used city strollers a couple of times, and we've always had a really, really great experience with them. There are several other companies, though, in the Anaheim area, and they all work similar.
Yes. And same with ECVs or wheelchairs. If you are going to be using an ECV or a wheelchair, Disney does rent those. They can sometimes run out of them. There's limited availability, but I don't know that happens very often.
Right.
But there are also outside companies, again, like the stroller rental place that will deliver to your hotel. So if you're flying and you don't want to have to fly with these things or take up room in your trunk or whatever.
Or if you have a 6-year-old who typically doesn't use a stroller at home and you don't have one anymore, go ahead and rent one.
Yep.
And I will say, too, that for the quality, you're going to get a better stroller for less money than what you'd pay at Disneyland.
Right.
You will pay a premium to rent that hard plastic stroller at Disneyland.
And you're paying a daily fee at Disneyland, whereas usually when you do a stroller rental company, it's for the length of stay.
Right.
Okay. Once you get in through security with your stroller, and what happens if you notice you have a flat tire?
Okay, so once you're in the Esplanade, if you are facing the entrance to Disneyland, on the right-hand side of all of the entrance gates is the stroller rental area. And out in front of the stroller rental area, again, to the right-hand side of the stroller rental area, there are some shrubs. And you will see a little green box in the shrubs, and that is a pump. So there's an air pump that's available free of charge for anybody to add some air to their tires if their tires get low while they're at Disneyland.
So nice.
So nice.
And that's not something everybody knows about. It's not well marked.
Nope.
You kind of have to, it's a secret. But we are giving out our secrets.
We have a reel on our Instagram account. If you want to see exactly where it is, head on over and find it. But yeah, if you're looking at the stroller rental windows, it's in the shrubs to the right, probably about 50 feet out from the building.
So let's talk about what happens if you are beyond the stroller years and you have a lot of stuff that you're carrying and you don't want to have to haul it around all day. Lockers. Disney has lockers available. So there are larger lockers outside of the parks in the Esplanade that will fit luggage, actually.
Yes.
So, or a cooler if you're planning on having a bigger picnic. There is a little picnic area, and that's right by the lockers, and you can store your stuff there. I don't know current pricing on that, but that could fluctuate anyway, so we won't say anything about pricing because we get into trouble when we talk about prices. They tend to change as soon as we say what it is. And then there are also lockers inside the parks. So in Disneyland, lockers are located just past Starbucks on the right-hand side
of Main Street.
Tucked back in there. It's a daily fee, so you go rent your locker for the day. You can stash quite a bit of stuff in there. So if you are bringing, your sweatshirts, because we've talked about this before, but Southern California weather sometimes is cool in the mornings and cool in the evenings and hot during the day, and maybe you don't want to have to haul around your sweatshirt all day. So you could store your sweatshirts. You could store, any merch that you grab during the day that you don't want to haul around with you. Those can go in the lockers.
Yep.
So lockers are great, and we've used them quite a bit. And if you don't have a stroller that you're pushing around with storage underneath it, this is a great option for you. And then at California Adventure, the locker location is to the right after you enter the park.
By Julius Katz?
Sure.
I think that's what it is. I think it's Julius Katz on the right-hand side. Anyway, right inside on the right-hand side.
And there's signage. You'll see where it is.
And then there are also free lockers in DCA near Grizzly River. And these were made with the intention of being able to put your bag in the locker while you go ride Grizzly River so everything doesn't get wet. They're free for 2 hours. And at that point, they will lock and you have to pay to open it.
Yep.
So make sure you use them for your 2 hours and then get your stuff out of there. Don't count on those for being an all-day locker solution.
There you go. Okay. So Erin brings a water bottle. I do too, probably about 50% of the time. Sometimes I just suck it up and drink or buy the...
That are like $9.
The $9 water bottles in there. But there are free water locations throughout both parks. So there's a place for you to fill up your water bottle at Rancho del Zocalo in Disneyland. You can go in and use they have soda machines where you can go in and fill up with water. No, never mind.
I don't know if they let you, but they have a spigot.
There is a water spigot just outside of the restaurant. Right in the seating.
But if you are like me, I like cold water. I don't like it to be tepid, lukewarm. And so I have pretty good luck going into Alien Pizza Planet at Disneyland. And they will, when you walk in, you just say, I'm here to fill up my water. And they'll say, go for it. And you can go to the soda machine, the fountain soda machine there and get ice and water.
And then there's also actual water bottle filling stations in Galaxy's Edge.
In Frontierland.
And
then there's the one in Rancho del Zocalo, and then there's also one in Red Rose Tavern. There's the little spigots where you can fill up your water bottle. There's no ice available in those situations, but if you have ice already,
yes.
I like to bring my insulated, so I have ice.
Right.
So those work for me.
And the solution for that is a lot of the quick service places will give you free ice water. Yep. So if you just go up to the pickup counter at the quick service locations, you can say, may I have an ice water? They usually have a bunch of them filled there already to hand out. It's a smaller cup, so you may want to ask for 3 or 4.
And they don't mind.
No, they'll give out as many as you like.
Yes.
You can dump that into your water bottle if you want, or you can drink it straight from that cup. And those are ice water.
Yes. And then across the way at DCA, I don't know that there's as many water filling stations, but I know that you can go into Pim Test Kitchen and use their Coke Freestyle machine to get ice water. And also Boardwalk Pizza back in Pacific Gardens, you're able to walk in and use the fountain to get ice water there.
Yes. So you've got water options. Don't walk around being thirsty. Make sure you stay hydrated. That's one of our number one tips. Is don't get dehydrated while you're at Disney. It's miserable.
And another tip I always share, I, again, am a water snob. I don't want it to taste bad. And sometimes the water at Disney, especially if you're using the filling stations, doesn't taste great.
It's city water.
It is. It's city water. And so I typically will bring something, whether it's Crystal Light, Liquid IV. Yes, something to add to my water so that it tastes good so that I will drink it.
Okay, first aid and baby care centers. So we talked about that you didn't really need to pack Band-Aids in your bag, and here's why. Disneyland and California Adventure have first aid stations, and they are there for all sorts of needs, but one of the things that I have typically used them for is to go in and grab a Band-Aid if you're rubbing a blister on your shoe. You're doing a lot of walking at Disney, so sometimes even your shoes that you think are the most comfy
all of a sudden
rub a blister.
Yes.
So they will give out free Band-Aids. Erin had a splinter once. They helped her with her splinter.
It was on the bottom of my foot. I was wearing Birkenstocks. It was like a thorn, went into my foot and broke off. And so they had to get their little sterile tweezers and we had to dig my little splinter out. It was great.
Yeah. So, I mean, any little ailment that might come up, if you need some Tylenol or, anything like that, go find the first aid station.
Yeah. Anything minor, they're going to be able to help you right there. Anything that's not minor, they're going to be able to get you help.
And the first aid station in California Adventure is just to the left as you enter after Oswald's.
In between Oswald's and Elias and Company.
And in Disneyland, it is located past...
It's located past Plaza Point, the Christmas store, and it's on the right-hand side next to the baby center, right across from the Little Red Wagon corn dogs.
Yep. And speaking of the baby care centers, let's talk about those for just a minute.
These are great.
They are. Disneyland is very baby-friendly.
It is very baby-friendly.
You will see a lot of babies at Disneyland.
Yes.
This is a great, quiet place to go. They have rockers. They have a place for nursing mothers to hang out in a cool spot. They've got microwaves, so you can heat up baby food, baby bottles. They've got diapers for purchase and wipes.
They've got little toilets.
Small toilets. I was going to say that. They're so adorable.
For potty training children who need to go in and find something a little smaller. They also will hold your breast pump for you. Actually, First Aid will hold your breast pump for you.
I think that's right.
And they will not hold your breast milk for you. So if you are a nursing mom who is pumping, check your pump in at First Aid and then bring a cooler with ice packs and keep your breast milk cold all day.
Haul it around with you or stick it in a locker.
I also have heard the tip that you can find bottles online. Like I said, I like my insulated water bottle, but you can find some that have a core that you can freeze or you can find some that have an outer thing that you can freeze and you can pour your breast milk into that to store it for the day. Just plan ahead for that, but you can check your pump so you don't have to drag it along with you everywhere you go.
And I've never had to utilize this service, but I have heard that if you have medications that need to stay refrigerated, you can check with First Aid and they will keep those cold for you, and then you can just come back and take them as needed.
As well. Yes.
So there's another tip for you. So I mean, any issues that you have come up that are medical or baby related, just go check in there. And they typically have a cast member in the baby care center to help with anything that you need there. And First Aid obviously has, some trained health professionals to help you with stuff there.
So great resources if you need them.
Super great resources. Okay. Characters. So this is one of the things that is actually very special about Disneyland. I don't think that any other parks around the world have the roaming characters the way that Disneyland does. And
including Walt Disney World.
Right. And I just think it's so magical. So typically roaming characters hang out around Fantasyland, but you can see them, pretty much anywhere around the parks. But just be prepared for those special moments. Sometimes they'll stop and take pictures, sometimes not. But yeah, so, and then there's also standing characters
that are not roaming.
That you can line up to get pictures with. So the princesses hang out in Fantasy Fair back by the castle. In DCA, you've got Anna and Elsa that have a character spot. And then if you check your app, you should be able to see when characters are doing meet and greets around the park.
And then throughout, you'll see, Avengers Campus, tons of Marvel characters are going to be wandering around. You'll often see Pixar characters back on Pixar Pier. Back in Galaxy's Edge, you're going to see all of the latest, greatest Star Wars characters, none of which I can name.
Chewbacca.
I know Chewbacca.
Ray.
I know Ray.
Mandalorian.
I know Mando. And I only
Boba
know
Fett.
him because he has Grogu in his bag.
Yes. It's so fun. So, yeah. And then lots of droids.
Yes.
Wander around, too.
Yes. It's super
Galaxy's
fun.
Edge.
Lots and lots of characters. They're so fun. Sometimes they'll grab your child's hand and take them on a walk, and that's magical. Just be open to those and be ready for those. They're so much fun.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. Gift cards. So pretty much everywhere in both parks takes gift cards. So if you are looking to save some money or have the ease of having all of your money in one spot or want your kids to be able to use gift cards to pay for their souvenirs or treats, you can buy them at a discount. Target, Sam's Club.
BJ's, I think, sometimes has them.
Right.
I know that like our local Fred Meyer, which is a Kroger company, has promotions all the time where if you purchase a gift card, you get a certain number of gas points. So if that's how you want to have a discount, is to have discounts off of your gas. Anyway, look for ways to buy gift cards at a discount.
And then you can combine gift cards up to $1,000 all into one gift card. Our big tip with gift cards is to make sure that you go to DisneyGiftCard.com and enter your gift cards there so that they're contained on that website. In case you lose your gift card, you can hurry and cancel that gift card and put it on a different physical gift card.
Yes.
So that no one else is spending your money.
And it's super easy. And plus, even if you're not combining everything, if you have maybe a $50 gift card for one of your children and they lose it, you don't have any way to access that money unless you've got it saved on your account on DisneyGiftCard.com. So it's just a smart practice to go in there and make sure those are saved and that you have access to those funds.
Right. And like I said, accepted pretty much everywhere, all dining locations, all shops. There are a couple of exceptions in downtown Disney where they don't use.
Most of downtown Disney actually won't take them.
Right.
So anything that's Disney branded in downtown Disney. So I think that limits you to what? World of Disney. Wonderground?
Maybe Wonderground, the Disney dress shop, probably.
The Disney Home Store, Marceline's. And that, I think, is it for downtown Disney. And then everything else is independent and will not take a Disney gift card. And then you can also use it to pay for your Disney property hotel if you're staying there.
Right. Tickets.
Parking.
Your magic bands.
Your magic bands that we talked about a few minutes ago. So really anything having to do with Disney brand of your trip.
And then there are Disney branded credit cards and debit cards that will get you some discounts within the parks.
And some perks.
So we won't go into too much detail there, but look into that if that's something that you're interested in.
And we have them. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we can tell you kind of what happens with those. And
then last but not least, let's talk about what happens if you run into an issue in the park. If you have any kind of an issue with your app or, I'm trying to think what else. What else could you have an issue with? If you want to speak to a cast member maybe about disability access, if you had an issue where you felt like something was handled incorrectly or poorly and you need to address it. Yes, or if you loved an interaction with someone, you can go and talk to what is called guest services. There are actual physical buildings with guest services in them in both parks. One at Disneyland is City Hall and the one at DCA is...
Guest services. Oh, no, it's Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce, okay. And then there are blue umbrellas located throughout both parks, which will basically get you the same information that you can find. The actual physical building locations sometimes will have long lines. So our tip is to go find a blue umbrella first to see if they can help you. And if not, then your backup is to go to City Hall or Chamber of Commerce. This is also where you can get your celebration buttons, which those are really fun. If you're celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, anything that you're celebrating, go get a button from guest services. They will write your name on it and what you're celebrating, and you will get shouted out all day long by everybody. By
if you have a birthday pin,
other guests.
Plan on being told happy birthday 100 times.
Yes, and it's really fun.
You can also find these at retail locations and some restaurants. You can ask your server if they have them. So you can find these pretty easily throughout the whole park. Aside from celebrations, they've also got first visit pins.
First pickle of the day pins.
There's some fun pins for lots of different things. So check in with, guest services or retail. If you need one of those pins, they're happy buttons.
Buttons, yes. We keep calling them pins. Pins are a different thing.
Pins are a different thing. Maybe that's for 103.
Yeah.
But get one of those buttons. They're great to have and they're a great souvenir.
Yeah. So anyways, that's guest services. Check in with them for whatever you need. And I think that's it for our 102 planning episode. So reach out if you have any questions again.
Yes. And then if you have anything that we feel like we've missed that we could address, we'll do a 103. Let us know. Follow us on Instagram at Ropedrop.Parkhop.
And on Facebook, the same. And we have a fun discussion group, Rope Dropping and Park Hopping, with a lot of fun people in there that are... it's collective knowledge. It's a hive.
It's great.
It's really fun.
There's a lot of great tips in there and a lot of great people. So come join the fun. And then please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. If you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you. If you've been around for a while, consider joining our Patreon. We appreciate that.
And stay tuned for Disneyland 103.